Welcome to the podcast, folks. Today we're diving deep into that fascinating geopolitical chess game where China's resource strategies come under the microscope.
Yeah. So, we're unpacking how cultural and strategic differences between the East and West really shape global ambitions, right?
Exactly. I mean, it's like, the dynamic between rapid infrastructure expansion in China and America's legalistic and methodical style. Both have their own flavor in influencing global markets, especially in sectors like mining.
Mm-hmm. Right. And one of the key points is how these strategies affect global responses, like the Shanghai Cooperation Summit. What's your take on that?
Oh, absolutely. The summit is a prime example. It's a meeting ground where nations evaluate how to align themselves politically and economically. It really highlights the divergence China's assertive expansion versus the West's more restrained, rule based approach.
Yeah, for sure. And then there's that whole debate between the SCO Development Bank and the Belt and Road Initiative. It seems like a classic strategic tug of war, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's super interesting. On one side, you've got this SCO Development Bank acting as a solid regional financial institution, and on the other, the Belt and Road Initiative, which is more, expansive and ambitious in redefining trade corridors.
Yep. Now, shifting gears a bit, the discussion around Indonesia's nickel industry really grabbed my attention. Why nickel, do you think?
Nickel's a key resource for technologies like electric vehicles, and Indonesia is sitting on a massive reserve. It's a perfect case study showing how China's resource strategy isn't just about infrastructure, it's also about securing vital commodities for future tech.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's like a microcosm of the global power play in commodities. And speaking of currency and trade, how do you see the move toward building a non-US dollar transaction system fitting into all of this?
Yeah, that's a really critical point. With financial systems evolving, China is pushing for alternatives to the dollar dominated trade, which could, rebalance global finance. It's a tactical move that could empower their leverage internationally.
Right, right. And then we also have the digital currency angle. It seems like digital currency is another tool in China's arsenal. How's that shaking things up?
Oh, for sure. It's like digital currency is not only about modernizing payments, but also serves as a strategic lever. It gives China more control over financial flows while reducing reliance on traditional Western systems.
Mm-hmm, agreed. Now, what's really interesting is the conversation on Australia's future role and alignment in Asia. Some see Australia aligning closely with the Western Bloc, while others predict a more neutral stance. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a fascinating debate. Australia could choose to stay aligned with traditional allies or carve out its own space, potentially acting as a bridge between differing economic
Right.
philosophies in Asia.
I mean, isn't it a bit optimistic to expect Australia to remain neutral amid these rising tensions?
Well, it's a nuanced issue. Australia's historical ties and economic interests play big roles. But some argue that its reliance on trade with both sides gives it a unique position, maybe even a balancing act.
Mm-hmm, I get that. That balance, however, might be tricky to maintain amidst, geopolitical pressure.
True, and that's exactly why the dialogue on potential Australian neutrality is so crucial. It's like trying to walk a tightrope without a safety net, challenging, but not impossible.
Yep, exactly. And then there's Japan's strategic future and its energy dependence. How does that factor into the overall picture?
Japan's situation is like a puzzle piece that can't be ignored. It's highly dependent on imported energy, yet it's a powerhouse in technology and manufacturing. Their strategy is deeply intertwined with the regional power dynamics, and any shift there ripples across the board.
Mm-hmm. Now, the big question looming over everyone is the likelihood of China-Taiwan reunification in this decade. How do you see that playing out?
Oh, that one, it's the heavyweight in the debate, isn't it? The factors are complex. Military posturing, economic interdependence, and global alliances all play a part. The consensus remains murky, and while some experts lean towards a unification scenario, others are far more skeptical.
Right, a mixed bag indeed. I appreciate that perspective, though I must say, I wonder if we're sometimes reading too much into the optimism around unification timelines.
That's a fair point. There's definitely a risk of overinterpreting certain economic signals. It's imperative to also consider the historical and geopolitical inertia that's hard to shift overnight.
Agreed. And lastly, comparing US and China political cultures, the analogy of engineers versus lawyers was truly striking. How do you interpret that?
It's like the West operates with a mindset steeped in, legalistic precision and rule bound negotiation, much like lawyers meticulously judging every clause. Meanwhile, China's approach is more utilitarian and engineering driven. They design grand infrastructural projects, iterate quickly, and, prioritize functionality over formality.
Yeah, really encapsulates the contrast. That's an intriguing analogy. But don't you think there are scenarios where the lawyer approach can also deliver efficiency, especially in complex international negotiations?
Sure, there's merit there, but the critique is more about recognizing that while both styles have strengths, they also have inherent limitations. The engineering mindset may drive rapid, large scale projects, but it can sometimes overlook finer legal political nuances.
Absolutely. It seems every strategic move is a trade off. Embracing innovation might come at the cost of meticulous oversight and vice versa.
Exactly. And that's why understanding these cultural nuances is key to decoding the broader geopolitical chess game. Each move, be it infrastructure, currency strategy, or resource acquisition, impacts the global market in unique, sometimes unpredictable ways.
Right, couldn't agree more. When you look at it all, it's quite the intricate plot unfolding on the world stage, isn't it?
Oh, without a doubt. It's like watching a grand, slow burn strategy game in real time. Each policy, summit, and initiative is a move on that global board, affecting commodities, markets, and alliances.
Yeah, and investors really need to pay attention to these evolving dynamics because the stakes are enormous.
Absolutely, especially in sectors like mining and digital finance. The decisions being made today could redefine market access and investment strategies for years to come.
That's spot on. So, wrapping it up, we see that whether it's Shanghai Summit responses, SCO versus Belt and Road debates, or even the future of political cultures, they all weave into this larger tapestry of global power.
Precisely. And it's this interconnected web of strategies, from resource control and financial systems to cultural mindsets, that makes the geopolitical canvas so dynamic and, endlessly fascinating.
Yep, it really makes you think about the long-term impacts, doesn't it? How a single summit or a financial shift might just spark a cascade of redefined alliances and market opportunities.
Absolutely. And while there are significant uncertainties along the way, the interplay between policy, culture, and resources is something investors and policymakers alike must keep their eyes on.
I agree completely. Well, that's a wrap then. Thanks for breaking down this complex geopolitical puzzle. Always a pleasure unpacking these layers with you.
Thanks so much. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and remember, the global chess game is always a few
Right
moves
on.
ahead.